Hi, everybody. Holly Clear's Social Power Program Director, Instructor, Social Media Trainer. I am so excited to bring to you Power Tribe member Jackie Cox of Swirls LLC. Welcome, Jackie.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me, Holly.
Oh my gosh, I've been dying for this session because you've ignited so many different creative aspects into my personal life and my business journey that gosh, to be able to develop social power program, it was dedicated to the time and attention we spent together. And so, you know what, you guys, when you have shiny things that come in front of you and distract you from getting things done, you have to have things in place. And that's my Jackie. So you're my plan in place.
I love it. I love it.
And you guys, guess what? Jackie she's on this adventure this year. She just finished hiking a 14er, which I seriously, if y'all are not doing a round of applause, I think you should seriously do that right now. What a huge feat, Jackie. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it was incredible. And it was something that has been on my, call it a bucket list, call it a to-do list, call it a planning list, call it whatever kind of list you want. But it's been on our list for about 12 years. Ever since my husband and I moved out to Colorado, we definitely wanted to conquer that. And every spring we talk about it, and every October we're kicking ourselves because we didn't do it. And so this year it was just time to stop kicking ourselves, to stop living in those moments of maybe regret, but maybe just letting time pass by us. And it was time to make it happen. And so we did this year. We started training for it in April, and not just training, but getting it on the calendar. Like Holly mentioned earlier of, things really do happen and they become very real when they are on the calendar, and it's very important. And so we picked a date, and we just thought, okay, we want a date that we thought would be appropriate for weather and appropriate for timing and getting us ready. I mean, we needed to get acclimated from the standpoint of altitude, but we were strength training and we were doing training hikes, and we were doing a lot of preparation for this hike, for this 14er. We didn't just wake up one morning and just say, oh, today is the day, because here's the deal. We learn from our mistakes, right? We did that several years ago, and that didn't work so well for us. So this was a moment where we wanted to be able to conquer something that we had set in place, and, just really diving into that. And so a lot of really great things have come out of that 14er.
There are a lot of awesome things that come out of that experience. I've climbed a couple of them, and you got to be smart and strategic. You have to plan ahead of time, and you have to practice. And you don't go to the top of the mountain at 1:00 in the afternoon,
No.
especially at that elevation. You've got storms, you've got lightning, you could have snow in the middle of the summer.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, there's a lot to prepare for. So what does that look like, Jackie?
So for us, from the actual 14er for us, I mean, we were on the mountain, or on the trailhead, by 4:30 a.m. And so, we prepared for that as far as we knew because the last time we tried it was 7:00 in the morning, and that was too late. It was already too late. And so we got to the summit by 9 a.m. and it was being able to prepare for that and knowing that you have enough fuel and you have enough water and you have enough sunscreen and energy and all of the things and the endurance to take it. And so really, you set a goal in place and you put the proper steps, the planning steps in place in order to achieve that goal. Now, whether this goal is a 14er or it's a goal in your business, they're very similar actually, because you don't just decide, oh, you know what, I'm going to do a live event in a month. Good luck. Yeah. I'm not trying to be in that, I want people to do live events and have realistic goals, but they should be realistic, because if you want to do a really grand live event, you need the venue, you need possibly a DJ, you need your social media team, because they probably need to help you promote it.
Yes.
So all of these steps go into planning, whether it's a 14er, a personal goal, or a business goal. You've got to be able to put those steps in place. And when you do that, then the right things will fall in place for you. So as we went through our process, in April, I started strength training, and I started doing a little bit of jogging, which is my joke, but it's kind of a jog and kind of a walk, but it's, you know, it's in that space of giving you a little cardio. Anyway, it's meant to be fun. But I was doing a combination of the two. And during that process, you know what, I found out a lot about who I am, what I'm capable of. And ultimately, I was being inspired by others as well. And so it takes a crew of people. It takes support. I did not do this alone. I had a great friend of mine and my husband with me. And you know what, there were a lot of people that were interested in joining us. But then as I was laying out the plan, it was, oh, you know what, I don't know about that. Or whatever their reasoning was, it was fine that they chose a different path. I'm just saying, as it relates to your business, make sure you're prepared for things. Set the plan in place, set the goal, and really just work towards that goal then. And you know, then you're setting yourself up for success, and the opportunities are much, much higher.
So much truth. You know, in the storytelling and strategy components of the membership, there's a lot of really exciting things because we're developing our editorial calendars. We're coming up with ad campaigns, and we need to get seats filled, and we need to get products sold or workshops filled. And in all of it, we're not planning for enough time. And I'm constantly telling people, you know, if it's under 6 weeks, you gotta pick a new date, because there's no way to come up with all the pieces in place to get that launch. So in particular with the editorial calendar, we're focusing on the days of the week. Every week has a different theme. Every month has a different theme. So why would we just jump into just all in with social and not have a newsletter in place and not have flyers printed for our networking? And where are we going to network? Are we going to any expos? Are we going on retreats? Do we need to have creative time scheduled in with Create Connects, for example, to actually make sure we're filling ourselves instead of just giving. And yeah, I mean, you guys, it's so important. This is why Jackie's here, because being someone that puts so much pressure on herself, I'm using myself as a prime example here. I put pressure on myself and unrealistic expectations because, you know, I just want to go and give. And, you know, if I do all the work now, then all these things are going to happen. Well, it's a marathon, guys. It's not a sprint. And even if you're training for a sprint, you're still training for it. There's still preparation involved. So yeah, I love that aspect. So where does someone start in all of it, Jackie?
So in all of it, you really need to set your goals in place. Now, set them 1, 3, and 5 years out. I mean, you really do need to be thinking that big at this point. If you want your business to grow where you've always dreamt it to go, then that 1, 3, 5 year space is really what you need to be planning for. And then let's back it out, right? So if we're looking at that 1 year space, then okay, if you want to do X goal by this particular date, what does that look like? Okay, so for like Holly just said, if it's less than 6 weeks, push it back. There's no shame in that. And you should really do that to serve it justice. So as you're looking at these events, you should be right now looking at holiday time. To be perfectly honest, I mean, it seems crazy to think because we want to enjoy our summer, but at the same time, you've got to be out that far in order to plan for it. So what does that look like? Who do you want to be there? Who do you want to help support you to get you there? What do all of the tasks look like? What does the training hikes look like for you, right? So what do the practice runs look like? I mean, maybe you do a couple smaller events in preparation for the larger event, or maybe you're putting yourself on a speaking tour and you need your social media team to help you get promoted to your next location of where you're going to speak. So it really comes down to the details of it. It really comes down to being able to take care of you in the process as well, and bring in some of those creative ideas. If you're finding yourself just in this grind and in this minutia of, you know, how to plan for everything and you're trying to do it all yourself, ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry, but you've got to ask for help with it. Whether you're a solopreneur or you have other people inside of your team, you still have people like Holly Clear helping to support you with your social media, or you still have your group that you're a part of with the social media tribe. And utilize that, ask questions. And so it really comes down to the planning piece of it in the details. But in the process, you've got to be able to do fun things that are going to ignite that creative and ignite those creative thoughts for you as well. And so being able to plan that in as well. During these hikes, let me tell you, I learned a lot about what was going on inside my head because there was a lot of introspective time, but there was also a lot of moments of taking it all in and reflecting and look how far I've come in order to get to this goal. So you've got to be able to take those steps along the way. So it's all about setting the goal, making the plan, putting the details in place, asking for help and support, having those tasks, and taking that time to feel that creative thought process as well. But also taking the time to just appreciate everything that you've worked towards.
Yeah, you've got to celebrate all of it. You know, I mean, you sit down, you do all this work, you're building up to this next level and getting all these programs and plans in place. And then what happens at the end? Right. You work so hard, you've got to celebrate along the way. And I think that was really valuable as well with the process of you developing the training hike over hike over hike and progressively getting more intensive, different trails. Right. But every time you celebrated afterward. Yes. And all of those rewards were just not only feeding your soul during it, but to be able to conquer on summit, get to the top, look down around you, and all you see is the world beneath your feet, right? Yeah. That you knew how much work you put into it. You knew every time you celebrated, every downfall you had, every uphill you had, and to get to that summit and just see like, this is everything I've worked so hard for.
Absolutely. It's so true too. You know, when we got up to the top, I mean, was it always easy? No, of course not. There were moments where it was like, that is still a long ways up. And that's from the literal sense, but figuratively to your business, there are going to be those moments, just like Holly just said, those downhills happen just as much as the uphills happen. And you've got to be able to take some time to recognize, okay, what will it take to continue to pull you through and continue to help you feel motivated and inspired? And that was it. That's what this hike was for me. And that's really what I want to share with the world too, is really being able to know the reward will always be worth it. If you work towards it and you have a goal in place, that reward will always be worth it. If it's, you know, you had a certain particular time frame in mind, and maybe you have to push the time frame out a bit, that's okay. That's absolutely okay. Give yourself some grace in that space, but just know that that reward will be worth it, whether it's a new client out of the deal, or whether it's a larger scale speaking opportunity, or maybe it's a brand new program that you're launching. I mean, that's ultimately, you know, how this whole process went for me. And what was the most amazing part of all of it is, as I was posting those celebrations and as I was posting those triumphs, and even some of the, this is going to take a lot of effort to continue to move forward, the amount of inspiration and support and encouragement that everyone came along with me with, it was really, really powerful and really incredible. And I didn't even know that was my goal. That wasn't my goal. That's a nice byproduct of what happened. And it just was really incredible to see, oh my gosh, you know, people commenting, and you've inspired me, and now I want to do something similar, whether it's a 40 by 40 or a 50 by 50 or whatever the challenge is. Now you have something to work towards. And because you've announced it to the world, you now have something that you're accountable for. I've had so many people asking me how it's going with the challenge, and, you know, the 14er of just being just super proud of those moments. And so again, as you do this downhill, uphill, the rewards are way higher than the trenches will be. So bring yourself back out of it and keep going.
Yes, absolutely powerful. Sage advice, my friend. So how can people, you're launching a program that can help people through this journey. What does that look like, Jackie?
So as I started my 40 by 40 challenge, just to put the record straight, I'm 39 forever. And I will be 40 next June, but I'm super proud of that fact, because you know what? It's another milestone that I'm working towards. And so really all this has come because of that. It's that level of inspiration. So as I worked towards this program, or as I was working towards this 14er, which seemed like the one goal, this program really, really birthed itself. And it was really pretty powerful because there are so many steps of this 14er that are related to this program. And it's all about that accountability piece. It's all about, you know what, if you're working towards that goal, perhaps you need a little performance check. Because again, as Holly mentioned earlier, if you have shiny object syndrome, get you back on track. It's okay. We all go through it. We all go through it at some moments where it's like, oh, this looks fun. What should I do here? Or whatever the case may be. But how do you come back to center then? How do you center yourself? And how do you continue to have that performance as an opportunity to check yourself? And so that's what this program is all about. It's a monthly training where I'm going to do it via Zoom, and it will be an evergreen type of program. So you will never feel like you're coming in the middle, but you're lost. You'll always have the information. It will go at a progressive rate, but at the same time, it's meant to really help you be in that space of community and support and encouragement. And you know what? That's where when I started with my 40 by 40, I had no idea how many were rallying beside me and behind me, and that's how this program started, is because we all need that support of some sort. And whether it's in a community setting or your tribe of people you're working with or what have you, that's really where this program came. So it's a monthly opportunity for you to say, you know what, I'm devoted to myself for this window of time inside this group. I'm going to do a creative project in there, and I'm going to share my goals, and I'm going to share what kind of support I need in order to continue to thrive forward. So that's really what this program is all about.
That's powerful. And it's one of those programs that I'm going to be joining actually today because of the fact that I've missed having this in my life. Jackie and I started working together in November or December, I don't remember.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we worked together for a good 3-4 months. And having not had that in my life over the last few months, I've really struggled with getting myself in that creative space and serving me, because I serve everyone else first. And so I'm still committed to every month I still do something creative, but how awesome would it be to be able to have that accountability as a group and getting training along the way at the same time while I'm knocking through some serious barriers. Right. So I'm going to be joining. I would love if you guys would join me as well. It's awesome to be able to do programs online because, gosh, we're so busy, and finding a space in person is fantastic if we're able to do so. But if you're not, this is a great community to be able to have support either way. Mm-hmm. So I'm juiced for it, Jackie. It's going to be awesome. And I love that you've incorporated your personal experience into what this training looks like, because I mean, it was almost as though when you and I were talking before and you were mapping out your 40 by 40 and we were coming up with some different ideas, it was just a living, breathing thing that was just determined to happen. And so I'm juiced. I'm looking forward to watching each and every one of you check out this program, get connected. And you know what? Every single one of us needs people in our lives. There's no person who does not deserve to have the richest experience possible in their business and their life. Mm-hmm. So absolutely. I need people for that.
We all do. We all do, whether we're extroverted like myself or introverted, or somewhere in between. We all need that level of support, and knowing that, you know what, you're not in this alone by any means. We are not meant to do this alone. Having your own business is not easy, and we're not meant to do this alone. And so ask and join groups like this where you can hold yourself accountable, but also feel the love and feel supported by it too.
Yeah. Yes, so much yes. Okay, so what you'll want to do is you'll want to go to swirlsllc.com. At the very top navigation of this site, you'll see something that says Swirls Events. And you'll want to scroll down to the area that's called Performance Check Monthly Trainings. Mm-hmm. That's the huckleberry right there. And you love when I use that word.
I'm your huckleberry.
You're my huckleberry. So Jackie has a very special offer that she's only offering Social Power Program peeps. Mm-hmm. And so do you want to share what that is, Jackie?
Yes, absolutely. So the program to come into it is $50 a month, and then that will get you the accountability, the support and the encouragement. And I do ask for a 3-month minimum. And so for this program specifically, if you come in at the $50 a month, I will actually throw in 1 month for free included in that. So you'll actually get 4 months for the price of 3 months. And so with that, it's a great opportunity. You can still do, again, you'll still do the $50 per month payment. But if you use promo code SOCIAL at that link that that Holly just mentioned to you, then you will have that opportunity to use that, and it'll have the 4 months instead of the 3 months. I also, from the flip side of it, obviously that adds up to $150. If you decide to pay in full on the spot, it would be $125 instead of $150 for the 3 months. So there's a couple different options there for you.
Lots of goodies. Oh my gosh. So I'm going there, performance check, monthly trainings. I'm selecting 4 for quantity and then putting in the code SOCIAL, and then I'm going to be a part. So
awesome.
This is cool. Thank you so much, Jackie. I'm so excited that you got the chance to share your story here. And I love how it absolutely relates to planning out and getting things done for your business in the right way. So people
absolutely.
definitely incorporate some of this. She's got some great tips. Check out the club. You've got to think about this when you're sitting down to build out your content and doing those ads, guys, that you have to plan properly. That's why you go through all of the steps. So if you've not taken the time to do that, go backwards, look through your homework notes, and tackle that. If you're getting stuck, we need to ignite some of this stuff into your life. So thank you so much, Jackie Cox, Swirls LLC. You are the best creative coach I have ever known.
Thank you so much, Holly. I just appreciate you so much. I love being a part of this group, and I just can't wait to help you feel inspired as well, all of you. So
yes, definitely check it out. Let's be awesome in social media. Cheers to your success, my friends.
Bye. Thanks, Holly. Bye. Bye.